Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and today I'm very excited. So I sat down. Finally, it's New Year's Eve. If you hear the fireworks, I'm sorry, but it is almost 9 o'clock at night, New Year's Eve night. Uh, sat down. I crunched all the numbers, and I have my totals for 2025. So I'm very excited. We are wrapping up the goals. We're tying a little bow on everything and finishing out 2025. So it's been a good year for me. It's been a good year crafting. My goals may not have been what I had originally hoped them to be, but we had Project Christmas Blanket kind of explode and take over everything. I'm going to go ahead and pin my hair back. It's going to drive me crazy if I don't. But yes, so goals were met, things were done. I do have one that is going to stick in my craw, and we'll get to it almost immediately. But just because of how close I was. Now, if you did not watch, setting 2025's goals or setting 2026's goals, these are not hard and fast. These aren't must-dos. Occasionally, I do have one that will annoy me, but by and large, this is not must-do, bad person if not completed. These are more fun reminders. It helps my little ADD brain to stay on target and focus on what I actually had wanted to do and not just flit off and do the 9 million other things that pop into my head to do. Not that that's bad either, but I like a little bit more structure. I thrive in a little bit more of a structured environment. So let's pull out the notebook. Wah-wah. Actually, it's a little bit harder to show you here. Let me get to my actual goal sheet. Wah-wah. Once again, if you're not familiar, this is a journal it's just a composition book that I covered following a tutorial from May Made It. I will try to leave a link for the tutorial down below. If nothing else, I will tag May in this, and you can go to her channel and just do composition notebook, and you'll find she's done like 3 or 4 versions of these where you cover the notebook and put in pockets and little tabs. I didn't do tabs. This started as 2024's journal. I still had plenty of room, so it became 2024 and 2025. I did not do tabs on my dividers this year, and I rectified that for 2026's. I did do tabs again. I missed my little tab markers. So, goals. We had 17 crafty goals heading into this year. I have not highlighted everything I finished, but I do have a number of these that I did actually finish. So, straight down the list of 17 here, I wanted to spin 3 pounds of fiber, and I only spun 9 ounces. So one is I don't think that's right. I think I actually had 200 grams in the art bat, because it seems like I spun 2 of the art bats. Maybe I still have 2 left. I only have it marked down as the 3 ounces though, or the 100 grams, 3.5 ounces. So total, I spun 9 ounces. I do have a yarn up here started on my knockoff Ashford or lawsuit Ashford. That's what it is. It's not a knockoff. It's a lawsuit Ashford. And I have my witchy poo yarn on the kiwi downstairs. So I do have a head start here. I did get some other things started, but I'm going to do my best to not say it over and over again. You guys that are regular viewers here are sick of hearing it, but Project Christmas Blanket, it just enveloped everything this year. Next up, this is the one that sticks in my craw. This one burns. This one chaps my hide. I wanted to have 100 pounds of FOs. So for Yarny FOs, I had 31,414 grams, which is 69.26 pounds. For non-Yarny FOs, I had 12,392 grams, which is 27.32 pounds. Those of you who are really good at fast mental math will already see why I'm just a little little bit hacked off. That brought me to a total of 43,807 grams of total finished objects, which is 96.58 pounds. I was right there. If I could have finished one or two of the Project UFO items I was working on, I would have crossed that goal. I was right there. Just so, yeah, I was very close. I was very, very close. Next, we have 50 donated hats and scarf sets, 50 donated baby hats, 5 donated blankets, and 5 donated shawls. 0 hat and scarf sets, though I do have a couple ready to go. 0 baby hats, but I have like a dozen or so of those ready to go. 5 blankets, I got 2 donated. And 5 donated shawls, I have at least 6 ready to go. So part of this is they haven't done the baby hat drive or needed shawls recently, so those just weren't donated. The hats and scarves and the blankets got derailed because of that thing. Finished 10 blankets. I did finish 11 blankets this year. So I finished the 10 for Project Christmas blanket, and then I made 1 to donate. So I did actually finish 11 blankets this year. I wanted to make 400 cards. I made 216, which is better than I thought I was going to be doing at the end of Q3. So we'll take that. We'll take that. Project UFO. I really wanted to end the year with no UFOs, but took over my life. So I started with 25 projects. I finished 13 or frogged them. And I have 2 of those that are long-term projects, 2 of the remaining that are long-term projects. So if we take out the 2 long-term projects, I came into the year with 23 actual UFOs. I finished 13. That means I finished 57%. So that's, given what I went through this year, project-wise, that's really not that bad. So I'm going to take that as a win. I'm going to call that, a victory. We're going to roll with that. I wanted to make 12 pairs of self-striping socks. I did 6. I had, I think, 7 on the whole year. I'm about to have my 7th pair of self-striping socks done here in the next day or 2, but not in time for this year. Finish 5 12 by 12 paper pads, 5 6 by 6 paper pads, 5 rolls of washi. I finished 4 12 by 12 paper pads or kits, 5 6 by 6s, and 34 rolls of washi tape. So I did very well on that washi tape goal. I generally do pretty well on that one. We will have some more paper stats here in just a second, though. I wanted to work into 20 hanks of fingering weight yarn. I worked into 15. And given what took over this year and the fact that I was using DK and worsted weight yarns for all those, I'm not angry that I still worked into 15 hanks of fingering weight yarn. I wanted to finish 1 sweater. I finished 2. I wanted to do the family blankets. All 10 are done. Project Christmas blanket was a success. The last 2 things, I moved these out of order here. Keeping up with my own mal. So I did an okay-ish job keeping up with the year of the make-alongs 2025. I could have done a lot better if I hadn't taken over my life, but it's okay. Something Troy is watching downstairs sounded like the doorbell, and I was about to say, should nobody be ringing my doorbell this time of night? Like I said, it's like 9 o'clock. There are fireworks. That's fine. Yeah, I could have done a lot better, but like I said, it is what it is this year. I had one big thing take over the entire crafty nature of my year. It did kind of waylay me on a lot of other things. It's fine. It's fine. The next one I'm actually really surprised by, especially with how much yarn I had left over. So like I said, with Project Christmas Blanket, I did have to purchase some yarns. And one of the things that I decided to do with my low buy is whatever was left over and going into the stash is what I would say came in. So they did still count for my out yarn, but they're not counting towards my in yarn. And that's just because, you know, I hit that weird point where like I had some that I could do with what I had on hand, and I did use what I could of what I had on hand. But I did have to purchase to complete Project Christmas Blanket, and I did over purchase substantially. Black, dark gray, taupe, and ballet. And to be fair, I did think I needed like two more sets of squares for that blanket, the quilt blanket, than what I ended up with. I do have leftover squares here because I had overmade squares substantially. I think I've got like 6 squares left over from making that blanket. So yeah, I way overestimated how many squares I was going to need for that blanket. But I do have a basket of the Hirschner's worsted also left over. There's like 1 ball of orange, 4 balls of green. I thought more green, it was going to be more green into the black and green blanket. So I estimated 3 balls for each blanket for those. And then the solid neutral colors, I estimated like 4 or 5 for each blanket. So I misgauged that in a lot of ways, but not horrifically, other than the neutrals. What I'm really heavily left over with are the blacks and grays. So all that having been said, I had 22 leftover worsted 8 balls, 7 of the Premier Basics left over. So once I counted those against my stash coming in, without counting a seed budget, my ending low buy budget is $142.59. So I took the seed budget out. With the seed budget, I would still have remainders if I counted the Southern Comfort Fiber Market as well. So this would have been, I would have had like $23 or something like that left over. And that includes buying fiber and yarn and accessories. So I'm going to call low buy a very successful year. So I ended up in the positive, taking out the seed budget. I still would have been positive counting everything for my birthday trip. So I'm not too mad. So I am rolling over one of the gifts I bought myself. So I did buy at the beginning of the year 2 gifts for myself. I am rolling over one into 2026. And it's only because I'm a little salty. I almost went ahead and gave it to myself, but I didn't. The one I am going to go ahead and allow myself to have is the vintage DK that I purchased from Eat Sleep Knit. And this is to make a sweater. So it's a sweater set of yarn. Purple is the main color. Accents, ribbing, and things like that will be in the gray color there. I am thinking a deeper V-neck sweater that will maybe hit a little off the shoulders. Maybe not off the shoulders, but just a little bit further than this shirt hits. So I'm going to go ahead and let myself have that. I'm going to go ahead and leave the other project yarn in the bag and hold that for 2026. So if I can do a good job this year, maybe I can have another little dip into the prizes there. Next up, I do want to go to my finished items tally. So I completed 9 shawls, 7 hats, 6 scarves, 11 blankets, 2 sweaters. What did I say? I did not update this. Where's my pen? I have also now misplaced my pen. No, that's just not good. How did I haven't left this area. That is magic. Oh, there it is. No, that's just my notebook. Well, cards. I ended up finishing 216 cards. Socks. I completed 7 pairs. 6 of those were self-striping. Supplies used. Ooh, I did not go back through my labels there, but I have 15 fingering. I know I did at least 8 cakes. Oh, I'm saying 6. No, 5 6x6, 4 12x12. Sticker sheets were 26 plus 8. Did I math this right? I do not think I mathed this right. I have 8, 0, 30 washi tapes, 34 sticker sheets. I mathed it fine. I just put the wrong thing down. That's going to annoy me. I really want, there's my pen. 30 rolls of washi tape. And I said, how many cards? 216. I bring it up here for a reason when I do these. 0 cotton skeins. I did end up using 2 full rolls of ribbon wrapping up those gifts, and I had some cute little cute little gold ribbon that I used for that. I did actually finish off one of these large rolls of double-sided sticky tape. These are from scrapbook.com. I almost never finish one of these sticky rolls, so I was kind of pleased with myself that I finally finished one. Now, granted, this is my 1/4 of an inch roll. It's not huge, but I very rarely finish one of those. So I finished one of those. I finished 1 roll of foam tape this year, and I finished 16 rolls of ATG, which is the tape gun, tape runner. And like I said, donated items, I only donated the 2 blankets this year. So donations were way down overall. So it was just what was needed wasn't what I was working on. Starting off for 2026, I do have 2 packages of squares to be put together for blankets to donate. And I do want to pull out the Addy really quick and crank out some hats to match some of the scarves that I already have. So maybe we can kick off 2026 in the first couple months with a group of things that are ready to donate, if not already donated before the end of Q1. But yeah, the 26 pounds is really going to irritate me if I could have come up with something else. And that includes finishing 2026's journal, because I did get that done in 2025. So it's like anything I could squeeze out of this year, I was trying to squeeze out of it, but it is what it is. It happened that way. I can't really be mad. I finished 96 pounds of finished objects. Like that's once again an insane number. And that's yarny and non-yarny. That's making wool dryer balls out of wool that wasn't fit to be put into a project, or leftovers that just were too small to go into a project. That's doing the cards and journals and once again, 11 blankets. I mean, that's a lot of projects that got made this year. So it's one of those, I was so close to the goal, it annoys me. But when I actually look at what I did this year, like, I'm really pleased with myself. And like I said, none of these are must do, bad person if not done. I am taking, more UFOs into the year than I would want to, but a lot of the ones from 2025, I could easily have done, with the exception of the 2 sweaters. I could have those 2025, languishing WIPs done here in the next 2 weeks. So, like, can I really be that upset? Can I really be that mad if this is what I'm actually looking at for the end of 2025 overall? So, yeah, I'm not really that mad at myself. So, anyway, how did you guys do on your goals for 2025? I know setting goals is a mixed bag, but you don't have to be structured like I am. This just helps my brain. Like I said, Carrie brain will fly off in left field and nobody will ever find it again if I don't write things down. For 2026, I even went so far as to add a place to add projects I intend to make this year, because I keep forgetting I have certain things laid out for things. And like, I've got this still sitting on my desk because I know I want this to be a thing together. I just need to pick up, like, do I want it to be a hat? Do I want it to be a cowl? Do I want it to be a shawl? this needs to be a thing together. So I've got this sitting out together so I don't forget. I have things like my Captiva sweater. The yarn is sitting here ready to be caked up because I don't want to forget. So this helps me substantially to remember what it is that I intended to do. It's like when you walk into the kitchen and you can't remember why you walked into the kitchen. That's what this is for me. So anyway, I love you guys. I can't wait to see how you guys did on your goals. How are you feeling when you look back at 2025 and do your retrospective through 2025? How do you feel you did for your crafty goals? Anyway, I love you. I will see you guys very soon. Please take care of yourselves and Happy New Year. Bye, guys.